Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we're trying Ayinger Bräuweisse from the Ayinger Brewery out of Ayinger, Germany. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking. We are going to be trying a fun one today, but before we get there, be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell, as well as check us out on social media. And we now have a Discord channel. So we're not really sure how it works and how to use it, but we created one anyway. So check it out. Come have fun with us there, and let us know what you think about our show. I've got Jay, I've got Andy in the attic. I am all swagged out today with the Hopped Up Beer Review shirt, my Hopped Up Beer Review Cheers Mate koozie, and yes, I'm going to be drinking from my Hopped Up Beer Review glass. Jay has one too. What are we drinking today?
Y'all could have told me about the glass. I would have gotten my glass. It's a long walk downstairs from the attic, so let's just keep moving on. We are drinking the Bräuweisse from Ayinger Brewery out of Ayinger, Germany. It's in Bayern, not far from Munich. Let's get cracking. This is gonna take a minute.
The good news is, as far as we can tell from the analytics, we don't have any Germans watching the show. So we shouldn't get too much, hate mail or whatever you want to call it on our bastardization of the German language here.
Well, I will say this. I mean, technically only 52% of the people are from the United States. So we don't really know where the other 48% are from.
Yes, that's true.
I know somebody in Germany who looks in on us every now and then.
All right, then. Well, maybe I stand corrected.
Yeah, or sit down and be corrected.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, we got a little carbonation out of this. This is
a little bit.
It's a wheat beer, kind of labeled as a Hefeweizen. It's going to have that banana aroma. And this guy is award-winning. Ayinger. So we had the Dunkel. What was it that we had?
It was the Dunkel.
The Dunkel.
Yeah.
Dunkelbock.
Yeah. We'll put the card right up here, or over here, or somewhere on here, for you to check it out.
So 5.1%, 13 IBUs. Smells definitely like a wheat beer. A little Hefe.
Yeah, smells good.
Well,
cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
To work through some of that foam.
Not me.
If you had the Hefe glasses or wheat beer glasses, they're designed to hold the foam and pour so that you don't get on the foam.
Yep. So yeah, as you mentioned, this is one, at least this brewery is one we've had before. I have to say that I am partial to Ayinger because of, just the artwork. We mentioned this last time. The cap is I think the best bottle cap that I've ever seen from a brewery. I mean, everything about this just, to me, is just feels German and makes me excited to open this up and find out what's inside. So I've had several of their beers. I've got a few of the empty bottles back here on display over our shoulders, ones that we've reviewed, maybe one or two that we haven't. But I like everything about at least their marketing. So that's definitely something, when I see that, I'm going to buy. That's probably just me.
I actually saw their Oktoberfest in the store the other day as well. So it might be one that we have to venture into.
So I got a little curious in my nerding out, and because I mean I do like to keep up with some international football, soccer, because as we know, and,
Arsenal, right? Arsenal's your team. It was my team, Arsenal. Go Gunners. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, they're gonna win it all after 3 games, huh? 3 matches, excuse me.
You're dating this video. You know that, right?
Nobody's watching.
I know.
So I did. I wanted to know more about, because do they do states or regions like we do the states? And they do have, essentially states. And Ayinger is the town in which this is brewed is in Bayern. And so that's one of the Bundesliga's teams is Bayern Munich.
Yep.
And so I was wondering, okay, I wanted to look in the area. Well, it's Bavaria. And, when I think of Bavaria, because it's this whole region before everything was broken up into countries and all, Bavaria stretched into parts of the Czech Republic, because the western part of the Czech Republic is known as Bavaria as well. So when I started to look, they showed all their flags or patterns of the region. And this checkered pattern is the blue and white. I always associated that with Oktoberfest and Marzen type beers. No, that's the flag of Bavaria, that state. And
Wow.
So some of the other beers from Germany that we have a different pattern on it, just to indicate which kind of region it's from.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
So if you see that, it's like doesn't necessarily mean it's an Oktoberfest or a Marzen or a Fest beer. It's the breweries in Bavaria.
Oh, and so yeah, I mean I would agree with you. You see that pattern everywhere, and it's at least in the U.S. it's consistent with Oktoberfest and fall and just about every Oktoberfest beer you pick up has that on there, right?
Which is rightly so, since Munich, excuse me, it started in Munich, and but the flag doesn't necessarily mean it's just Oktoberfest. So I had a misconception all this time.
Yeah, and I spent some time
learning.
Yeah, we are. I spent some time this summer in Hella, Georgia, which is they consider themselves a Bavarian town in the middle of Georgia, or North Georgia, I should say. And you see a lot of that blue and white checkered pattern. And they have a really supposedly really great Oktoberfest. I went in the summer, so didn't get to experience that, but a neat place. And I took some video, and we'll likely release that if it's not out there already by the time this comes out. But we'll talk a little bit about the town there and some of the things to do there as well. But back to the beer.
I spent some time in Huntsville, and they're known for it as well. I mean, being a town where Redstone Arsenal is, they actually have their own Oktoberfest out on the Arsenal, where they have Ferris rides and bring beers in and lederhosen and the full gamut on it.
All Ben heard was Arsenal.
Yeah, that's all I heard.
Gunners.
Yeah. So yeah, Huntsville's known to be a blender. I mean, that's where they relocated Warner von Braun, so it has a heavy German influence across the city.
Cool. All right. Does that conclude the nerd out section?
Yeah.
I think that's
if they want to know more information about the Ayinger Brewery or Privat Brewery, go look at the one where we did the Dunkel. Munich.
Covered a lot of that at that point, and again, we'll add that at the end of the video, so you guys can follow up this video with that one if you haven't seen it already. All right, with that, let's go around and give this one a rating. Jay, why don't you go first?
Sure. It's a great German beer, a good offering. These folks do know what they're doing. Obviously, they've done this for decades of centuries, and great wheat beer. I think I'm going to go with.
What was the number? You cut out on us just there a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said an 8.
Okay. I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure everybody at home was as well. Andy, what do you think?
It's good. I like that it's not being a Hefeweizen. I always like them, but I'm always curious when I go into one, is it going to be too weedy and too light, too much of a Hefeweizen? But this one isn't. It kind of holds back. I like that it's over 5%. A lot of the Hefes you drink are like in the low 4s. But I agree with Jay. 8.0. I usually don't rate a Hefeweizen really high, but I'll drink them a lot. But this one's very refreshing and not offensive in any of those too weedy, like I'm drinking sawgrass or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect. I think you hit it a nail on the head. It seems light too. I mean,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think we've used a term here in the past. Talking about beers that are a good beer to try if you happen to be new to craft beer, and you're wanting to try a specific style. I think this one represents a good one to try if you're looking for a wheat beer, because again, it's not too overpowering. It's crisp, refreshing. It's got a little bit higher ABV, as Andy mentioned, which is cool. I think that it's a really good option of a wheat beer, if you can get your hands on it to try and introduce you to other wheats if you haven't done so. I mean, of course, there's always the kind of the more macros, the Blue Moons, and those sort of things out there. But I mean, to me, this blows a Blue Moon completely out of the water. Mm-hmm. I think 8.5 for me. I really like this, mostly for the reason, Andy, that you mentioned, in that it's not too weedy. I think the first wheat beer I had, I don't remember what it was, but that it was a very weedy beer, and it turned me off to wheat beers for a while. Mm-hmm. And it took me a while to come back around to them. And now I actually really like wheat beers, but I know if I find one that's too weedy, then it's not going to be one that I'm going to enjoy as much. So 8.5 for me for sure. All right, that will give us an 8.2 for the Ayinger Bräuweisse from the Ayinger Brewery. Did I do good? Is that
knocked it out, man? That ball has not landed yet.
All right, everybody at home didn't get to see the 50 attempts that I tried to get that right, but it's not about the 49 that you miss; it's about the one you hit. Right? That's what we're all about here. So I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Again, be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell if you have not done so. We would greatly appreciate it. And if you'd like to leave some comments, obviously you are free to do that as well, and we will get back to you on our end. So for Jay and Andy in the attic, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Andy, that's a terrible glass.
Cheers, mates.
Glass shame me.
Yep. That's what we do here.